One day, my partner, Natalie Moore, cried and begged me to let her have the baby she had conceived with her childhood sweetheart, Yarden Holt. I agreed, but only on two conditions. Firstly, Yarden had to take the child abroad and never come back. Secondly, if Natalie ever broke the first condition and allowed them to come back, half of the Moore family's estate had to be transferred to me. Everyone called me a gold-digging opportunist. They accused me of using a woman to climb the social ladder and coveting the Moore family fortune. Nevertheless, Natalie was willing to go against the entire Moore court board just to keep that child. 5 years after that, I went to a neighboring city for a project and found a little boy. I took him to the police station so they could contact his family. The officer dialed the number the boy gave, and the voice that came through was one I knew all too well. "Baby, don't worry. I'm coming to get you right now." Less than half an hour later, Natalie, who was supposed to be hundreds of miles away at a meeting, stormed into the police station. I sat on a bench and watched her indifferently. She froze, and her face turned pale. Natalie Moore pulled the boy behind her. Her instinctive gesture cut me like a knife. "This is not the place to talk." I cut her off and picked up my briefcase. "Have that man come to pick up the child. Then we can talk." I stared at her coldly. My gaze was as sharp as a blade. "Do you want me to call your grandfather right now? Or should my lawyer be the one to contact him?" Natalie fell silent. The agreement we held could strip her of her position as chairperson of Moore Corp and leave her with nothing. The boy, Zeno Holt, suddenly stuck his head out and shouted at me, "You're a bad guy. Don't bully my mom." It was the innocence children spoke with that made their words hurt the most. Natalie quickly covered Zeno's mouth and stared at me in panic. "Great attitude," I sneered. "Yarden sure taught him well. It seems that, instead of improving himself, he spent years turning his son into his little pawn." With that, I turned away and walked out of the police station. It was snowing, and the wind carried a cold air that pierced through me. I recalled Natalie's words 5 years ago, begging me to let the child she was carrying that wasn't mine live. She had kneeled in front of me and explained that the infant was the result of a drunken accident with her first love, Yarden Holt, and that the Moore family had too few heirs. At that time, I had just finished negotiating a major project for Moore Corp. It had exhausted me so much that I ended up in the hospital with a stomach ulcer. I thus decided to sign an agreement with two conditions. Firstly, Yarden had to take the child abroad and never come back. Secondly, if Natalie ever broke the first condition and allowed them to come back, half of the Moore family's estate had to be transferred to me. Back then, Julian Moore, Natalie's grandfather, was so furious that he almost broke her legs with his cane. Still, to appease me and protect the Moore family's reputation, he agreed to my terms. That day, Natalie swore to me, "Zayden, it was just a mistake. You're the only one I love. The shares are yours. My life is yours. Just let me give birth to the child and send him away. I'll spend my whole life making it up to you." Until today, she had truly devoted herself to keeping that promise. No matter how busy she was, she made sure to call every day to report her schedule. On every holiday, she never failed to send expensive gifts. She even turned down contracts worth hundreds of millions just to be with me on our wedding anniversary. I thought time would erase the past. Natalie had the driver take Zeno home first. She had not dared to leave without me. We sat in a coffee shop right next to the police station. "Zayden, it's not what you think." Natalie gripped her coffee cup so tightly that her knuckles turned white. Her voice was hoarse. "Yarden, he really did take the child away after he was born, but his business there failed, and Zeno has a congenital heart condition. Abroad, medical care is too expensive. As a foreigner, he simply couldn't afford it. So that's why you brought him back." I tapped my fingers lightly on the table. "I mean, wasn't bringing him back good enough? Did you have to put him in a high-end apartment under Moore Corp and visit every week too? Natalie, are you doing charity, or are you two in a sugar relationship? I only visit that place to see my child. He's my own flesh and blood." Natalie quickly defended. "Zayden, the child